Hey Yoginis, how are you doing today? We're going to work on stretching, particularly in the low back in today's video. So last week we focused a lot on more of the cardio benefits, the workout, the abs. Today we're going to work on the stretching out, a little bit more mellow benefits of yoga. So we're going to start with a side stretch. Bring yourself on your mat. You probably want to take it lengthwise so that when you stretch out your leg, your heel can stay on the mat. That will just make it more comfortable for your heel. So your right heel, or the sole of your right foot, will come into your left thigh. Both sit bones will be touching the mat. Flex your left toes back towards your face and bring your left forearm down onto the ground to the inside of your leg. If your arm doesn't reach the ground, you can always place it on top of a block or a book, some type of prop that you can put underneath your arm so that it gives you a little bit more lift. From there, on your inhale, bring your arm up toward the ceiling. Already you probably feel a nice stretch along the right side of your body. You can stay here, or you can start to bring your arm overhead. That will increase the length for some of you. Keep pulling your shoulder blade down into the socket. Avoid reaching out of the socket here. And release your left ear down toward your left shoulder to get a little bit of an extra stretch in the neck. Some of you might be able to reach your toes. Gaze up toward the ceiling underneath your armpits. If you can't reach your toes, that's all right. Try and bring a restorative aspect to this pose to the best of your ability. And if your arm gets tired, you can always bring it behind your back and see if you can grab hold of your left hip crease with your right hand. That will increase the stretch in your neck. Of course, the most important thing here is to breathe. And especially when we're in these stretching poses, the deeper we are able to breathe, the more space we're creating in the body on a physical and an energetic level. So as you inhale and your belly expands, see if you can feel the expansion in your rib cage along the whole side of your body where you're feeling the stretch. And then maybe on your next inhale, you breathe up into the chest and you find a little bit more space in the heart and in the back. And then take one more deep inhale here on this side. And very slowly use your arms to walk you up. Be careful as you come out of the pose, as you'll definitely be a little bit tight on the one side that you were just stretching. We will switch sides. Take your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Make any adjustments that you need so that both of your sit bones are touching the ground. Flex your right toes back towards your face and take your right hand to the inside of the right leg. Palm facing down gives you a little bit extra leverage. You can use your hand to press down onto the ground or a block to lift you up. You'll get more space and more of a stretch the more that you lift. Your left arm comes up overhead. Release your right ear to your shoulder. Stay here or reach your hand overhead to increase the stretch on the left side of the body. Maybe grab hold of the toes, but avoid really trying to reach for them. If you naturally reach them because that's just the level of flexibility that you have today, then that's great. If you really have to work to reach them, see if you can stay away from that and allow yourself to just hang where you are. Sometimes that's the hardest thing for us to do, is to just accept where we are, because we know that in the past we might have been able to reach our toes and we're just not sure why we're so tight today. There's nothing wrong with you. Our body changes, it's very dynamic, it's different every day, and it depends on what we've been doing lately. Maybe we've been sitting a lot and we haven't given ourselves the gift of a lot of movement, and so maybe this is just where we're hanging out. Maybe your arm is behind you, grabbing hold of the hip, you're getting a little extra stretch in the neck, and that might feel really nice for you. Find a place where it feels nice. You're definitely experiencing sensation and the stretch, but you can breathe easily and create more space and be comfortable here. And take 2 more breaths. And inhale, very slowly walk yourself up. Again, you might be a little bit tight or sore, so notice if that is happening in your body and release your shoulder blades. We're going to move into a forward fold here. Okay, this is really funny. There's a person right outside the window who is being very annoying and looking in here and watching me do this video and shredding the grass, whatever that's called. I can't think of it right now, but I just thought I would share that with you. He's gone now. Alright, so release the extra stuff you've got underneath your sit bones. We all have it. We want to sit all the way up on the sit bones. Flex your toes back towards your face. Your knees can be bent if your hamstrings are tight. That's totally okay. Take your arms up overhead. Feel your spine extending long toward the ceiling. On your exhale, start to hinge down. Grab hold of your toes. Maybe you can't reach your toes today. Maybe it's the shins, maybe even the thighs. Again, there's no real destination here. It's all about the journey. So appreciate where you are in this moment. Relax your head and your neck and breathe space into the back of your body. You'll get a really nice stretch in the low and the mid-back here. Maybe another stretch again in the neck. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. On your inhales, you might feel your heart moving slightly forward towards your toes. On your exhale, you might feel your torso moving down towards your thighs. Appreciate and enjoy this stretch. Avoid trying to push yourself to limits that maybe are just a little bit farther away today than they have been in the past. Live in the moment here on the mat. Understand that your body changes, and just because you might be experiencing limitations today doesn't mean that forever you'll always have those limitations. It doesn't define who you are permanently. It's simply an acknowledgement of where you're at so that you can move forward and make decisions that will help you progress past the limitations that you may be experiencing today. On your inhale, roll your spine back up. Open your eyes. Edging, that's what he was doing. He was edging with his lawn tools. We'll move into bridge for the last pose. Your knees will be pointing up toward the ceiling. The soles of your feet will be on the mat. Your toes are pointing straight forward. Bring yourself down onto your back and then reach your hands forward, and you might need to adjust the feet so that you can tickle the backs of your ankles here. Slightly pigeon toe your feet in so that they're moving almost towards each other, and pull your inner thighs together. They might not actually touch, but just have that isometric feeling of pulling them in towards each other. Now, if you've never done bridge pose before, watch me get into it before you go into it, just so that you don't have to turn your head from side to side. That can be not good for the neck. Press your shins forward first, and you'll notice that your hips start to lift up off the ground. Then start to pull the hips up off the ground so that your chest moves back towards your chin. Your chin is opening up away from the chest. Now interlace your fingers if it's comfortable for you on the mat. You'll notice that the shoulders start to curl up so that you create a shelf for the heart to rise a little higher into the air. Press down through your feet, maybe lift your toes up so that your feet are active. And remember to continue isometrically pulling the inner thighs towards each other. The shins move forward towards the front of the mat. Chin continues to open up, and release your glute muscles. The tendency is for us to squeeze them in here to try and pull the hips up as far as we can go. Let them loosen and soften and allow all the work to be done in the legs. So if you haven't gone into bridge pose yet, you can go into it now. And because this is yoga, we focus and concentrate on the breathing to create space here. This should feel really nice on the back. If you're feeling any tweakiness, you can always tuck the tailbone in toward the knees to lengthen the low back. Two more breaths here.
Then very slowly release your hands out toward the side so that your shoulders come back down toward the mat. And one vertebra at a time, very slowly bring your spine to the ground. Pull your knees into your chest, give them a nice squeeze. Maybe rock side to side to release your low back. Roll up to seated. These have been 3 stretches for you to use to help soothe and calm the low back. Especially if you suffer from any low back pain, these can be really helpful stretches to do throughout your day and your week. If you sit a lot at a desk, it can be nice to take a 15-minute break and just do a little bit of stretching. Yoga has many, many benefits, and it's important that we incorporate them all into our practices. Whether that means we do one 60-minute practice with a lot of different aspects to it to meet all those benefits, or we spend 15, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes a day working on each individual part, you will see progress over time no matter what you do. Yoga's benefits accumulate so that not only are you feeling better in the moment, but over time you feel more and more and more and more better. I know that that's not grammatically correct, but you will start to see the benefits of yoga show up in your life if you continue this practice. So last week we worked a lot on the cardio, the strengthening, the abs. This week it's all about stretching, and next week we'll probably move into some breathing and some more meditative uses of the yoga practice. I'm so glad that you've joined me on the mat, and I'm really grateful that you're here and you're taking the time to incorporate yoga wellness balance into your life. If you ever have any questions, please send me an email or get in touch with me online. My name is Ashley Josephine. Really, truly appreciate you showing up on your mat. I hope to see you again soon, on or off the mat. Namaste.